Why didn't you tell me if you knew? She let her hands fall down to her side as she waited for an answer. You should have known too, sis, Jason said, grabbing 2 glasses from the cabinet, filling them up with water from the sink. Here, drink this. It does a body good. I thought milk does a body good, she said, taking the glass of water from her brother's hand and drinking it down in one swallow, hoping it would fill her empty stomach. Milk, orange juice, Kool-Aid, water, it all does a body good when you're thirsty, he said, sitting down at the wooden table their grandmother had given them before she passed away. Jason, how do you figure that I should have known that Mama was on crack? Trouble asked, as she sat down at the table next to her brother. Jason turned his chair around to face his sister and said, all the stuff that has been coming up missing around the house, what do you think happened to it? Trouble shrugged her shoulders. I don't know. What do you think happened to my PlayStation, the cordless phone, and the necklace that Daddy gave you last Christmas? Trouble thought for a brief second. I don't know. I really didn't pay attention to the phone or your PlayStation, and I just figured that I lost the necklace. That's a shame that a woman could steal from her 7-year-old daughter. I looked everywhere for my necklace, and I could even ask Mama had she seen it, and she said no. So I just figured that I had lost it. You lost it, all right. And Mama found it and gave it to the dope man. Jason got up from the table, put his glass in the sink, and looked at his little sister before walking out of the kitchen. I'm her daughter. How can Mama steal from me? It just ain't fair. Trouble laid her head down on the table as tears began to escape her eyes. A few days later, Trouble was lying in her mother's bed, watching an all-night marathon of Moesha, when she heard her coming in. Trouble looked over at the clock, and it was way past midnight. Trouble panicked and jumped up from the bed because she wasn't allowed in her mother's room when she wasn't at home. She ran to the closet and hid inside. Her mother walked into the bedroom with a tall, dark-skinned brother with nappy locks in his head that hung to his shoulders. Trouble cracked the closet door just enough to be able to see her mother and her guest. Trouble watched as her mother hurried over to the jewelry box on her dresser. I wonder what she's doing, Trouble thought as she peeked out through the half-open door. Mama grabbed Big Mama's pearl necklace with the earrings to match and placed them in the palm of the dark-skinned's hand. He looked the jewelry over as if he were an appraiser. This ain't shit. You gonna have to come better than this, Denise. He yelled at Mama, loud enough to make Trouble jump. He laid the jewelry on top of the dresser and took a step back. Shh. You gonna have to keep the noise down. My babies are asleep, Mama warned. Look here, bitch. You said that you had some expensive shit. I hope you ain't wasting my time, because I could be getting somewhere getting my dick sucked unless you gonna do it for me. Dark Skin smiled, showing off a mouthful of gold teeth. Nigga, please. I'm fiending, but I ain't sucking your dick for no $20 rock. And I really ain't sucking no nigga's dick that ain't older than my son. Well, I'm out of here then, Dark Skin said as he turned for the door. Denise was fiending bad, so she thought for a second. Wait, I got something for you. A mischievous grin came across Dark Skin's face as he reached for his zipper. No, nigga, I'm not sucking your dick, I said. Denise reached back into the jewelry box, pulled out a diamond cluster ring that belonged to her father, and put it in his hand. You like it? She asked, as she shifted that weight that she had left from one foot to the other. Denise looked bad. She went from looking like a brick house to a shit house. All of her long, thick hair had fallen out, and she now sported a short, nappy afro. She once had a pretty smile that lit up the room when she walked in. Now all she had were a few good teeth left in her mouth, and they looked like she hadn't brushed them in ages. Trouble wanted to jump out of the closet and kick her mama's ass for being so stupid. She tried her best to stay still as she peeked out in between her mama's clothing that hung in plastic. A huge smile came across Dark Skin's face as he repeatedly looked over the ring. Does that smile mean that you like what you see? Mama asked. Yeah, this bitch here is sweet.